Move in silence. Only speak when it's time to say checkmate. Hello, my dear friends. Welcome back to Thursday Thoughts. This is Suvit with you. Being on the last lesson of chess and life, let's think about the process of handling arguments, conflict management. Conflict is a clash of interest, and conflict management is the process of limiting negative aspects of conflict while increasing the positive aspects. We often say a conflict is nasty and destructive since it consumes a lot of time, energy, and emotions. But understand, it's not always something bad. Conflict can be very healthy if you know how to manage it. Conflict increases the awareness of problems that exist and provides a reason for finding a better way forward. When the conflict is valued, it encourages an environment where change is seen as positive, a way of making things better. Also, it helps you to make more effective decisions. While reading a story or watching a movie, you will find a lot of conflicts over there. Conflict is what drives a story. Without opposition, the story becomes lifeless. Until that story reveals the primary conflict, the audience will search for who, what, why, how, the questions. Suspense that leads the audience from one scene to another. Sometimes suspense is the result of a conflict, but not always. And sometimes suspense may be due to the doubt about outcome. In my case, both are correct because when I announced the life skill series Chess and Life, I really experienced and go through such a conflicting situation, and I will share that situation with you. I know everyone is curious about the black hand behind the black pieces. Let me break that suspense first. The biggest suspense of the life is that you don't know who is praying for you and who is playing with you. It's none other than me. Yes, my dear friends, we all have a dual self portrait, outer self and inner self. The white piece represents my outer self and the black piece represents my inner self. The outer self is a term that describes the physical body, social relatedness, and the inner self that covers about the mind and soul. The outer self is generally concerned with material things, whereas the inner self it is concerned with values, beliefs, personality, thoughts, emotions, etc. In this modern world, every day each of us are tugged in multiple directions. There are so many things to be done by us. Sometimes our actions and behaviors do not always align with our core values. Such situation, the conflict between inner self and outer self is quite natural. I told you when I started this series Chess and Life, I was experiencing such a conflicting situation. Should I start or not? I have been encountered with many challenges. How to manage the black pieces, how to align each move with corresponding lessons, how to conclude this series. Literally, there were a lot of conflicts happening between outer self and inner self. Therefore, I have started the first lesson with a quote of Aristotle. Give a chance to suspense because the emotions will cool. Conflict between inner and outer self refers to a mismatch. You think about one thing and you do another. The greater the conflict, the wider the difference between what the inner self believes is right and what the outer self does is wrong. This conflict ultimately causes stress, and that can damage your mind, body, and soul. Since the risk is high, you must be able to manage such conflicts in very short span by identifying the gaps between your true values and your outer actions. Take a moment and list out your core values. This might be the things like honesty, integrity, friendship, helpfulness, mindfulness, whatever it is. Then make a list of activities that you do each day that is aligned with each values. Then finally, synchronize your actions with values. Look for the values and ensure your actions to support them. Become aware of your inner self, and balance with outer self is the foundation stone for good mental, physical as well as spiritual health. There are hundreds of quotes and thoughts to connect with chess and real life. However, let me conclude this series, Chess and Life, with the quote of Winston Churchill. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The chessboard represents our life, and chess pieces become us. Each piece represents the skills what we possess and the values what we believe. The way we move them will lead us to success or failure. You might have observed the movements of white pieces, which was totally behind the materials and finally got trapped in a royal fork. My dear friends, always remember, the place you are used is not the place that you belong. Never be proud of what position you hold. At the end of the game, no matter either you are white or black, you are king or pawn, everything go back into the same box and rest in peace. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned. See you back on next Thursday with another life-changing lesson, most probably in my local language, Malayalam. Bye bye.